Hey you guys, it's Wealthy Gamer here, wishing you all wealth and prosperity in your day today. And today we're going to be covering all the times that Activision lied to us about SBMM, right? And EOMM, right? Which is under talked about. I think people talk about the skill-based matchmaking more than the engagement optimized matchmaking, when it's really the engagement optimized matchmaking that makes the games feel rigged, okay? Because Advanced Warfare had the skill-based matchmaking, but Advanced Warfare never felt as rigged as Modern Warfare 2019, for example, right? Or like any of the like Modern Warfare games, like the newer Modern Warfare games, or like the newer Call of Duty games after Modern Warfare 2019, right? Yeah, there's a reason that those games feel more rigged, right? Advanced Warfare, it did feel sweaty. It did. And I'm not gonna lie, as a 12-year-old, I was only having fun on that game because I had literally all of my day. I literally had every single moment in the day. I was actually like 10 years old, but I had like every single moment in the day to play AW. You know what I mean? I had like every single moment in the day to play that game. So yeah, I could learn how to freaking boost jump and do all of this and slam down. Yeah, I learned how to do all of those crazy sweaty movements because that's all I did in my day. And that felt fun at that time. But this is a different era. You know, this is a different era, and that wouldn't feel fun in this era, you know, because of the EOMM, the engagement optimized matchmaking makes that type of gameplay feel 30,000 times more sweaty than it felt in AW. 30,000 times more sweaty than it felt in AW. That EOMM gameplay. You know what I mean? That's what that does. And so in October 17, 2017, Activision clarifies the microtransaction matchmaking patent, and they said this was an explanatory patent filed in 2015 by an R&D team working independently from our game studios. It has not been implemented in game. So here we go. In 2017, Activision was lying. Right? They were clearly lying to our faces, telling us that there's no, oh no, of course there's not, of course the matchmaking isn't rigged to make you guys buy from us and make us rich. Of course not. Of course the matchmaking isn't rigged to make us billions. Right? Wink? Of course not. No, it's not in the game. You guys are just imagining this. You know, and this is where the gaslighting starts, okay? So as early as 2017, they were already gaslighting us on this. You know what I mean? They were already preparing us for Modern Warfare 2019 to come out and be, yeah, you know, yeah. So April 4th, 2024, Call of Duty blog, an inside look at matchmaking. We often see the community refer to our matchmaking system as SBMM. Call of Duty does not consider skill, but skill is not the main. I mean, Call of Duty does consider skill, sorry, but skill is not the dominant variable. So they were basically trying to say that, you know, we see everyone talking about SBMM, but skill is considered, but it's not the main thing. They try to act like, oh, it's ping, it's this, right? Like, yeah, they try to say, oh, we consider and prioritize several factors to create lobbies. Ping is king. They try to say this ping is king, but that was cap. Ping was never king. Okay, if ping was king, it would have been quick to find matches. As soon as they removed the SBMM matchmaking, it was all, you were able to find matches immediately. Okay, so ping was never king. Okay, the ping was a peasant. The skill was the king. The skill was the whole monarchy. You feel me? The skill was the empire, the Activision empire. Come on now, don't give me this bullshit. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't try to act like you was saying ping is king. Ping was never king. Y'all treated the ping like it was a peasant. Y'all treated latency like it was a hobo on the street. Y'all treated, you know, y'all treat packet laws like it's some starving man begging for a meal. Like, come on, man. What do y'all mean? This is not king treatment ever. Y'all give this no love until Battlefield 6 came to put belt to ass to really put you in your place. Now, ping is king. Now, you're reverting SBMM. Now, the data tells you that SBMM is not good anymore, and it's actually hurting retention, which it was doing the entire time. But you guys continuously lied to yourselves, deluded yourselves into thinking that SBMM was actually helping you because you guys got lucky when Warzone happened during COVID. You got lucky. You got lucky. And you guys thought that was like, Y'all thought that SBMM was the reason that that game was big? You guys are idiots. This is when we realize that Activision is full of a bunch of idiots working at this company, okay? The people who work here they have the mindset of a toddler. They don't think deeply. They don't think deeply about the products that they create and ship out into the world. They don't. You know, that's actually the products that they make and ship out into the world. That's the second thought. The real thought is the monetization within those products. You know what I mean? The monetization, the matchmaking. Those are the things that Activision wants to tweak with and care about, right? But they don't really care about their own products. No, of course not. All right? So they tried to tell us ping is king, connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor. Cap, okay? You might as well join DDG's Capaholics with this type of buffoonery. Come on. And I'm supposed to believe in this? Come on, right? That was never true. Okay? In the old games, in the Gold Call of Duties and Black Ops 2, yeah, ping was king. Okay? And these new Call of Duties, no, it isn't. Okay? They're gonna go back on it for Black Ops 7. And then when the new Modern Warfare game comes out, and you know they feel like, oh, competition isn't that crazy, they're gonna try to do, you know, they're gonna try to go back to that when they feel like competition in the FPS. As soon as they feel like competition in the FPS genre is like cooled down now, like, you know, it's clear to like implement our horrible matchmaking and ruin this game again for the community. We're gonna do that because for some reason Activision actually, you know what I mean? It seems like they don't like the people in the community. They don't. And also, they're just greedy individuals. At the end of the day, this is a business, you know, and to them, from what they see, they think that this SBMM makes them more money. When really, they're losing players. People are playing the game less and buying things less because they're not playing it. So you're losing money. You're not making money from that. You know? You was only making money from that when there was no competition at all. So yeah, they tried to say ping is king, connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor. We knew that was cap. Money spent does not in any way, shape, or form factor into matchmaking, right? We do not consider how often or how much you play when determining matchmaking. Matchmaking does not impact gameplay elements, hit registration, visibility, aim assist, damage, etc. Multiplayer does not use bots as a part of the general matchmaking process. So we see some more cap here, like skill-based damage has been proven. Okay, if y'all know Blame Truth, I'm sure y'all do. If y'all are watching me, I'm sure y'all know Blame Truth, right? Watch his videos. You know, he has videos proving that the skill-based damage is real. Okay, so if you're like good like Scump, yeah, your damage is gonna be less per hit. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're gonna have skill-based damage, skill-based hit registration. Your bullets are gonna hit less. You can't laser beam people anymore because yeah, they're gonna mess up your hit registration. It's gonna feel like you got the bloom from Battlefield 6. On your gun. You know what I mean? It's gonna feel like you got the bloom from Battlefield 6, man. You're not gonna, your hit registration is gonna be messed up. This is that skill-based hit registration. Why would they have to, why would they even say that if it's not true? Why would you have to say matchmaking does not impact gameplay elements like hit registration, visibility, and aim assist and damage? Bro, if that's not true and if that's not believable, the fact that that's believable enough that they have to like come out and say that it doesn't impact those things basically proves that it impacts those things. You know what I mean? Like, it should not be that believable that the hit registration is messed up if I play better. That believable that they have to come out and say that doesn't work like that. No other game has had to do that. Rainbow Six Siege hasn't had to come out and say, oh yeah, we don't have skill-based damage on our game, like our hit registration. Like, no, Rainbow Six Siege doesn't have to make any statements like that, ever. Because their matchmaking is normal, bro. Their matchmaking it makes sense. You feel me? So, yeah, the fact that they even had to mention that it doesn't affect, there's no skill-based damage in the game, yeah, no, that means that it was. You know what I mean? That means that it definitely was. The fact that they felt like, okay, we need to actually tell people that this doesn't exist because it seems like they're on to what we might have been doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, so come on, right? April 2024, Activision Research White Paper Series kickoff. Announcement of an ongoing technical white paper series on matchmaking. First focus is ping connection with a follow-up dedicated to skill. July 26, 2024, Activision Research White Paper number 2. The role of skill in matchmaking. When skill is utilized in matchmaking, 80 to 90% of players experience the better end of the match placement. So Blame Truth, I basically talked about this in his video. He talked about this one, I'm pretty sure. And they basically tried to say that like most players have a better experience. Only 10% of like the high skill players leave the game and have a worse experience, basically. And the rest of them stick with the game and they play longer and everything and quit less frequently. So this is basically them. I'm not going to read it all out because we already know what they're saying. This is basically them trying to defend skill-based matchmaking, saying that, yeah, it was good. You know what I mean? Like, basically the whole player base is sustaining off of this.
Well, as you can see, it sucks as it cuts. It certainly does suck.
80 to 90% is what they were claiming at that time, right? Until obviously they got smacked upside their head, okay? Battlefield 6 did the Wallies on them, right? It did the Tank Davis on them, boys. Had them seeing stars. You feel me? And now they, yeah. So yeah, come on now. Right? That was them defending that. They defended this garbage. And now look, now they want to go back on it. This is why we can't trust Activision or get happy about this for one moment, okay? This is not a positive. This is only happening because Battlefield 6 gave them competition. Competition is positive, but Activision didn't make the positive change on their own. So this is not positive. This is only positive because Battlefield 6 is positive. You know what I mean? Battlefield 6 competition is positive. What Activision has done is only a response to that. It's not out of the kindness of their own heart. So it's not good because as soon as there's no competition in the FPS genre, they're going to go back to that matchmaking. So it's not positive. It's only positive if they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart and they're actually changing this shit for good. You know what I mean? If they're not changing this shit for good, then it doesn't matter because the next 2 years and the next year and the next 2 years, there's not going to be the same competition. There's not going to be a Battlefield 7 coming out. No. So there's not going to be that competition, and then they're just going to go back to that matchmaking as soon as they feel like the coast is clear. This is why this is not a moment to celebrate or rejoice. You know, we should celebrate that Activision is being crushed and buy Battlefield 6 and play that game and still not play Black Ops 7. Still don't play it because they're only going to stick with this change if people don't play that game at all. You know what I mean? That's the only way they're going to stick with those changes. As soon as people start playing that game and they got good numbers, then the next year they're going to change that back. You know what I mean? As soon as they realize, okay, these idiots, they still bought this game as soon as we changed it for a moment. Now we're going to change it back the next year because these idiots, like, you know what I mean? So just don't buy it. Just don't buy it, bro. Don't buy it. You know, I hate to tell people what to do with their money, but don't buy it yet. Don't buy it for the first 6 months. Don't let Activision get good, don't let them get good player numbers, bro. Don't let them get a good millions of people buying the shit, bro. We don't want them to beat Battlefield 6. Like, no. We know what I mean, you know what I mean? We don't want that. If they beat that game this year, they're going to just, the same devs are going to be like, yeah, you see, we was too big to fail. We told y'all. Like, no. Nah, don't buy that game for the first 6 months. I'll at least say that. You could, play Black Ops 7, whatever, if you want to, but don't buy it for the first 6 months. Because for the first 6 months, that's what they're going to use to be like, oh, yeah, look, see, we got $1 billion in revenue. And yeah, bro, nah. You see, we don't want that. But December 3rd, 2024, Activision Research White Paper number 3, Ranked Play, explains how Ranked is its own competitive rule set, right? Distinct from general multiplayer, included for completeness around skill and discussions. Also, by the way, you guys, I want to mention that I got the idea to do this video from a content creator, a Battlefield creator called Jay Bowen the Man. Okay, he was really good. And I actually really like Jay Bowen the Man. I watch his videos a lot, and he was basically like, yeah, someone should make a video talking about every single time Activision lied to us about this SBMM. Since after they came out and basically said, we're switching it, and it's better not to have SBMM in the game and all this other stuff, right? So he was basically like, yeah, you should make well, he didn't say I should, but he said someone should. And I'm taking up the helm. So Jay Bowen the Man, if you see this, hey, man, you gave me the idea. Thank you. You know? But, yeah, so, yeah, they explain that Ranked is its own competitive rule set and it's distinct from multiplayer. So, that's the thing. It's actually not. That's the thing. Ranked and multiplayer were the exact same matchmaking system. They were the exact same matchmaking system until just now. Until they just changed it for Black Ops 7, right? So, in fact, the regular matchmaking was low-key even worse than Ranked because the regular matchmaking has, like, crazy EOMM in it. I don't even know. I haven't played Ranked in COD in a minute, so I don't even know how bad it is in COD's Ranked. But I'd imagine the EOMM is probably pretty bad there too, because Marvel's Rivals Ranked has EOMM, so I'd imagine the creators of EOMM, Activision basically, you know, I would imagine that, yeah, they've got it in their ranked game. So yeah, ranked is the same thing as multiplayer. They're the same thing. You know what I mean? They are totally the same thing. It is not its own competitive rule set. It is now in Black Ops 7, it should be, but it has not been. It has always been the exact same thing as multiplayer ever since Modern Warfare 2019. You know, it's been the exact same game mode. You know, feeling the exact same every single time. No difference at all in the feeling of gameplay, okay? Absolutely no uniqueness. Just boring slop, okay? Garbage. AI slop garbage. Come on now. Just terrible, right? October 9th, 2025, Treyarch Call of Duty, Black Ops 7 beta notes, post-beta policy for launch. At launch, open matchmaking with minimal skill consideration will be the default for Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Simply put, imagine the matchmaking experience of open mosh pit from the beta, but as the standard on day one. Right? Isn't that funny? Ain't that crazy? Right? After all this time. They defended this. All those statements that I read, they said that this matchmaking helped the game. They said that this was going to uplift the community. They said that 80 to 90% of the players were sticking with the game because of this matchmaking. But now, at launch, open matchmaking. It's going to be the standard? Are you kidding me? Battlefield 6 must have really mollywopped the shit out of you guys. You know, you're feeling that, right? Activision, Bobby Kotick, yeah, Joe, they got a black eye. Everyone under that brand got a black eye. You know, Matt Scrontz, yeah, they just did the Wallies on you. Matt, they just did the Wallies on you, Matt. Yeah, bro, like I'm sorry, like y'all had to go back on that. Y'all seen those pre-order numbers. Y'all seen the downfall. Y'all seen what was coming. Y'all seen how bad the game was doing. You know what I mean? You were losing to Battlefield 6 until the day of Battlefield 6's launch. Until the day right before the launch, Activision finally surpassed it. Black Ops 7, finally the number one pre-order game. After Ghost of Yotei came out, Battlefield 6 is coming out tomorrow. That was coming out the next day. Finally, Activision could pass it. That's how bad you guys were getting slammed. You know, you were getting decimated, annihilated, obliterated. Okay, you were being destroyed in every single way, by every single metric, by every single standard. The game was better, more enjoyable, more engaging, right? Not rigged. And so now you guys want to copy. You want to copy Battlefield 6. You want to be like that, you know? But only because there's competition. It's not genuine. This isn't a time to celebrate. Sure, Black Ops 7 will be better, but what about the next two Call of Duties? What about the Call of Duty after that? What about when there's not Battlefield to hold Activision's feet to the fire and make them actually do the right thing that the community's been telling them to do this entire goddamn time? Right? What happens then? Exactly. What this adds up to. Skill is a factor, but not the top one. Connection quality, ping, is explicitly described as the highest priority input, right? And we know that that's true because we actually played it, and from Nero Cinema and other people who are very trusted in the Call of Duty community, we know that the matchmaking did feel better, okay? The matchmaking actually felt better. Activision presents internal data arguing that including some skill constraints benefits most players, and ecosystem health with A&B tests to support it. The company has explicitly denied using microtransaction-driven matchmaking in release games. Policy shift for Black Ops 7. Treyarch says open matchmaking, minimal skill will be the default at launch, reflecting recent beta experiences and feedback. Right? And now they want to frame this as, oh, we're listening to your guys' feedback. We really care about the community and your input and your no. No. You know, if you believe in that, you're the most gullible idiot that mankind's ever seen. You know what I mean? You're one of the most gullible humans to ever breathe a breath of air on this planet. If you believe that Activision really did that because they were listening to our feedback. People had that same feedback for freaking 7 years. People had that feedback for 7 years. Y'all just changed it? Y'all want to act like y'all are weighing community feedback more now? Man, get that nonsense out of here. airball. You completely missed with that one. Try again, okay? Yeah, you can convince the idiots who are gullible enough to believe in that nonsense, right? That's the only people you're convincing with this. But yeah, you guys, this is the video. This is every single time that Activision lied to us about skill-based matchmaking / engagement optimized matchmaking, right? This is every single time Activision lied to us, and I wanted to put this together for you guys because it really is interesting. It's interesting to see how much they really tried to gaslight us. They really, really tried it. It's crazy, you know? It really is. But shout out to Jay Bowen, the man, for giving me this idea. Shout out to you, man. I really do rock with your videos and your channel if you do see this. And that's it, you guys. Wealthy Gamer here. Wishing wealth and prosperity to everyone who watched this video and all of the people who support me.